Why are policies and procedures so important when you own real estate? Now, you may be thinking, I only own one or two properties. Is it really that important? Well, let me tell you something. Number one, policies and procedures are going to save you if you ever get involved in a lawsuit. 1 out of 3 landlords is in a lawsuit every year because they violate some sort of law. You've got fair housing, you've got discrimination, you've got property code, you've got Fair Credit Reporting Act. There are so many laws that are watching and governing tenants' rights. If you do not know these laws, then the chances of you violating them are pretty high. You've got to know what you're doing. Remember, this is a business, and that business has laws and regulations that you, as the owner, have to abide by. So let's talk about policies. Policies are things that are written down and documented that will save you, because if you're ever in a court of law, a judge may ask you, what is your policy on this? So for example, let's look at qualifications for screening a tenant. Maybe an application policy. Maybe it's a late fee policy. Maybe it's how someone enters a maintenance ticket. These are all things that if you don't do the same every single time, it could be construed as discrimination. So you've got to make sure that all these policies are aligned. How you renew a lease, how you rent a property, how you select a tenant. All of these things are very, very vital. And you want them to be the same because you don't want people doing different policies and different ways of doing it every single time, because then you have what's called chaos. And then it's a whole other set of problems. So policies are going to save you. Now, procedures are how you do things. And this is where you start creating a procedures manual. Now, you may be thinking, I only got 1 property or 2 properties. I don't need a procedure manual. Well, you're wrong. You do have to have a procedure manual because, again, this is how you can scale your business and this is how you can grow. Don't think I'll do it once I have X amount of properties. That's like saying I'm going to build the plane once I'm in the air flying it. Well, in flying terms, that just means you're going to go to the crash site quicker. Don't do that. Set it up before you buy a property. Say, okay, if someone's going to pay their rent, how does this work? What is the procedure for that? If somebody overpays their rent, what is the procedure for that? So these are all the things. A lot of bookkeeping procedures are done. Maybe when a new tenant moves in, what is the procedure for putting in and booking in a new tenant? And then maybe when you have a tenant leave, how do you do the procedure for the security deposit based on your security deposit policy? Security deposits are the number one reason landlords are in a lawsuit, because they do not know how to give it back. They don't know what the rules are, and they don't have any kind of policies or procedures, and that is when they end up getting sued. So you've got to have these policies and procedures, and more importantly, these are going to give you leverage. Leverage is huge when you're trying to scale and grow. Maybe at 1 property, or maybe 2 properties or 3, it may not be a big deal. But let me tell you something, you get to 5, 10, 30, 50 properties, all of a sudden you're going to wish you were able to have some policies and procedures, because now what you're going to have to do is you got to go back and you got to undo what you've done, and you've got to redo policies. And now trying to get people to go back and do something to start is a lot harder than having them start a right way and everybody doing it the same way. So having to go back is not a good way to do it. It's going to cause a lot of ill will, a lot of problems, just not something you want to do. So again, think about this before you go and create these policies, create procedures, create structure, because this will allow you to have your business to start running without you, so that you can truly be an investor and you can grow and scale. Because if it's all in your head and you're thinking, I know how to do this and I'm the guy who does it, or the girl, the problem is you become the roadblock. You become the challenge that if you get hit by a car, or you're out sick, or you're on vacation, everyone's coming to you. Now, the other challenge with policies and procedures, if you don't have them, is you're going to find out that everyone is going to look to you because you're the only one that knows how to do it. So let's say you start getting employees or you start getting tenants, and what you're doing is you're teaching them that you are the one with all the answers. Now, you may have the answers, but that's not the way you want to run your business, because now you are the one that is always being called upon to do the work. That's not the scalable model, because again, you only have so many hours in the day, and I'm guessing you probably didn't buy real estate to get a 3rd job or 2nd job or whatever. You bought it for probably passive income. You probably bought it to increase your lifestyle, not to be even more busier. Policies and procedures will give you that ability. So create policies, create procedures, and understand how you can truly leverage your business. This is the key to being successful. If you like this, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Go to my website, steverozenberg.com. Thank you very much. Catch you next time.